August 2015, a man in Texas heard an armadillo out in his garden behind his house. He went out with his .38 special revolver and fired 3 shots at the creature, one of which ricocheted, hit the man in the jaw, and he had to have his jaw wired shut and had to have emergency surgery. April of the same year, a Georgia woman was struck by a ricocheting 9mm that hit an armadillo because her son-in-law shot at it from 100 yards away and it allegedly bounced from its shell, through a fence, through her mobile home, and into her chair, which hit her back. Today, on Professional Miscreants, we are going to find out, are armadillos bulletproof? So today's mission is to accurately try to replicate scenarios where armadillos have allegedly ricocheted bullets off of their shell. We weren't going to go get an armadillo, and they're really not native to Pennsylvania, and I don't really want to hurt an animal because we're professional miscreants and
professionals have standards.
So what best thing I could do, found someone selling armadillo shells. I did think, however, like, oh, they're not just shells, there's some jiggly babies in there. So we got a ballistic rabbit. So I present to you the jackadillo.
You think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
Thing's got shock absorption now, okay? So first part of this riddle is solved, right? We got our simulation jackadillo. Second part is we need to safely create a ricochet. As much as I'm a shithead, I do kind of not want to die today. First issue was, the first story was a .38 special at close range. Only .38 special I have is my little Lady of the Night gun. For obvious reasons, you can see why I'm not gonna sit here and try to do that. And plus I don't want my jaw wired shut. I do have a big head. I feel like I could stop it, but
I can take it.
No, he can't take it.
She's right, you can't.
we're not doing that, okay? That's just not smart. Second story was a 9mm handgun from 100 yards. Is that doable here? Yes, absolutely. We're at a range that I believe goes to 150 yards. Issue here is, at that point, I know I'll hit this. I don't know exactly where I'll hit this, and we're trying to kind of predict roughly where the trajectory is gonna go. This could come straight back at me. It could go up over yonder. We're not trying to do that. We're actually trying to do a controlled test, which leads me to think we should just try to compare muzzle energy. The first incident involved a .38 special revolver. I went through and compared about 10 different ammunition sources to look at their average muzzle energy, and it came to anywhere between 185 and 200 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Sorry, all this math makes me gassy. Second scenario, 9mm was shot at 100 yards from a handgun. Did a little research on that. So from a 9mm handgun with a 4 to 5 inch barrel at 100 yards, you're left on average about 240 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So now we know that kind of that 200 foot-pound muzzle energy is kind of the sweet spot for this to allegedly occur. Next best step for all this that I could think is, I think it appears once every episode, the CCI Stinger ammunition. It is 22 long rifle, it is 1640 feet per second, 32 grain. It has 191 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, which puts us right in that sweet spot, although a pinch anemic, I understand that, and also a little smaller, obviously, in girth. We're all about the girth here, but this way we can set up where we can actually control where we're hitting this with the correct amount of energy and see the most likely outcome. We're scientists here. You want to see my professional rig? Don't get too impressed, Bill and I. I have my 22 long rifle bolt action. I have a shit ton of wood, some duct tape for stability, as all things need. Got my plate carrier and a weight to hold it back because I did not think through to get an actual rifle mount right before this, and we are just rolling with it. So I'm gonna take you down with me whenever we fire this, and we're just gonna hope for the best and keep everyone way out of the line of fire and behind a lot of cover. Let's get to it. Yeah, you like that? If you like that, you'll like me too, because I jiggle when I move. Why don't you go ahead and hit subscribe? It helps me and the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it greatly. I'm gonna try here. See if that breaks through. I think that's the fragile part, and then we'll try this. I'm sure this is a great angle. gonna try to fire in 3, 2, 1. That's scary. Okay, let's check it out. Now granted, this probably pulled a lot. Oh, that's not good. That went straight through. Oh yeah. He got a spinal tap. Oh shit! That went straight through this side.
Full penetration.
This is not going the way I thought it would. Okay, we'll reset. I'm just gonna try a shot here. And we'll see if we can bounce it, but it's looking like this myth might be busted. There might have just been some tomfoolery in 2015. Don't blame the Dillas. Okay guys, now I'm going to try to hit right there. There's obviously a lot of deviation when I pull this because this is a super professional setup. One more shot. Let's see if we can bounce a bullet from a Dilla. It's really scary because this is not super stable and I don't know the length of pull here. Firing. Okay, let's see. Well guys, grand reveal. That was arguably the hardest part of this whole thing. And it is not stop. Oh yeah, look at that wound channel.
Full penetration.
And that's just from the 22 long rifle. I'd say this myth is busted. We did the exact muzzle energy needed. If anything, we were on the anemic end of things. Went for the hardest part. I mean, it went straight through. The wound channel is pretty not good. I mean, we didn't even catch the bullet. It went straight out of its ass. I'd say the Jackadillo is done for, and this was with a slightly anemic round for what we needed, much smaller in caliber, similar muzzle energy, but even then we were off by like 10-15 pounds. So I'm not calling bullshit to this one. I'm sure there's some weird trajectory with some Bill Huckey's buddies home loads that like something went weird and it could have happened. I mean, a guy did have to go to the hospital from a shot to the jaw. I just think there could have been some tomfoolery there that no one wanted to talk about because someone got shot in the jaw. If you want to see anything like this, go ahead and tag me in any of your weird articles, send it to me. I will do my best to replicate it. See you next time.